The last real Jujutsu Shenanigans update was almost a month ago, but there has been a lot of leaks since then, including Culling Games stuff, new early access characters, and a Cursed Partners rework. Before we get into the really juicy stuff, let's talk about True Canon, otherwise known as Ryu Ishigori. Now, as we all know, he's an early access character, still waiting on his fourth move to be completed. And we finally got news of what his fourth move is gonna be. Z was talking about it earlier in the Discord that it may be a chargeable attack, and we finally got a look at it. It looks pretty basic. I actually don't know where it comes from, but once it gets added to the game, I'll probably remember. And it's gonna be called You Weren't Invited in brackets, just like the other ultimate moves. And while that is cool, that does mean that we're probably not gonna get a Ryu domain. Z was talking about it in the Discord, but he didn't really say much other than the fact that if he does add his domain expansion, it will probably be a G+R. For example, like Honored One's 0.2 second domain, where you go into your ultimate, but you need to spam R to get the 0.2. I think that's a pretty cool idea. I mean, we don't know what Ryu's domain is, so JGS is gonna have to come up with something completely on their own, basically. I heard somewhere that they're waiting for another Roblox game to add his domain so that they can copy it, but that's definitely not the case. And I think it would be pretty cool to do that because there's no other character in the game like that. As for what the domain expansion is gonna be, we only have speculation. In the anime and manga, you don't get to see nothing because Kurourushi destroys a domain before they get into it. Also, we don't know whose domain would win in that clash. But in the anime, they did add something special that wasn't in the manga that showed what their domains may be. There was one with blue flames going down a parallel line, but I'm pretty sure that would be Uro's domain. It goes along her concept of being an executioner, an assassin, whatever she was, and it's dark and grimy. Meanwhile, the other one they show were like fireworks blasting everywhere. That's way more Ryu-esque. We know how domains work. It's a barrier with a sure hit effect, and Ryu's best attack is Granite Blast, so most likely it would be something like that. Maybe something similar to never-ending slashes like Malevolent Shrine being never-ending beams coming down from the ceiling. Maybe you just get a guaranteed maximum output Granite Blast because they have nowhere to go. Something of the sorts. Obviously, it has to be balanced and be able to compete with the other domains in the game. And Ryu has no history of knowing a 0.2 second domain, so it's not going to be a copy and paste of what Gojo's got. And the last little thing we got about Ryu was his hairpiece was added to the JJS items. That might be an allusion to the fact that his character model is going to change. I mean, I want the hairpiece. You know, like when I join JJS and I play as Ryu, I want to get that pompadour on my head. It's kind of cool. I think it would make sense. And Ryu has no cosmetic changes, which as most characters do, whether that be a weapon or a hairstyle or the way you run or the way you punch. He doesn't have any of that yet, so hopefully he gets that. It'll give more uniqueness to the character. Moving past Ryu, we got a Beam Clash rework concept. Imed posted on his TikTok this video right here, and as you can see, as the Beam Clash is going, there is a quick time keyboard event where you need to input the right keys and win the Beam Clash. I think that's a way better idea than what the concept is right now because there is no attack that's going to beat Granite Blast. It goes on for too long and the range is humongous. So if you really want a true Beam Clash, you need a quick time event like that. It would work something like that Higuruma move, Final Judgment. It would just add to the specialty of JJS, making it more lore accurate and innovative compared to all the other Battlegrounds games. All the people involved in the updates, including Z, have been talking a lot in the Discord, so that helps a lot. But another thing they've been talking about is a yuta rework. You can see in Yeezy or VZ's description on Discord, he is in charge of Kurourushi, but we'll get into that, and a whole bunch of other reworks, including Mei, but we don't have any news on her. Now, we got a couple sneaks for Yuta that look like this moment from the anime. Yuta faces off against Kurourushi and he does this, I don't know, cursed energy surge to dispel all the cockroaches. I doubt they're gonna change any moves. I mean, that would be pretty weird. I think Cursed Partners is a pretty complete character. Maybe a little broken. He might get nerfed. But most likely it will be a variant for something. I don't know what they would make that. Let's think about the moves. Now, if it's not a variant, I could see it being a special interaction through Kurourushi. Just like when you're a Cursed Partners player and you go against a True Canon, you get a different color of electricity when you clash with the second move. It probably won't be that, but yeah, that's an idea. And then we can talk about the thing that everybody's talking about. Jujutsu Shenanigans is adding Kurourushi as the next early access character. Now let's talk about what we definitely know about him and what speculations we have after. Firstly, we know his weapon model is added to the game. Kurourushi does have a curse tool in the anime, although most people don't realize that. I believe it's called called the Life Festering Sword, and it is a pretty cool concept. I doubt it will be incorporated through the special because that would make the character very techy. The next thing is the character model. Now, Kurourushi in the manga is a special grade curse spirit that is based on the fare of cockroaches, so therefore he has 4 arms and is a lot bigger than most people in the series. And they did say that it is big as hell compared to Todo and Hanami, which are also big character models. So I don't know how big, definitely not the size of Strongest of History, but it will be big and bulky. And I assume that will affect its movement and its speed just like it does for Hanami and Todo, I believe. So that's pretty cool. They also said that it will be a more fun and casual type character and less sweaty compared to characters like Vessel and Hikari, but it will also be a pressure character. Now that is a very vague statement, but if you use some of your brain cells, you should figure out that means that it's going to be a going forward type moveset. You know, there's some characters in the game that are counter based or timing based, but this is going to be one that you need to attack and attack and attack. And that's nice. I like those type of characters. Now they also said there's going to be 4 new mechanics for this character that are being introduced into JJS. Now we have no idea what the specifics of that will be, but that is very interesting. The last character to get so many mechanics was, I don't know, Salaryman, and that was like only a few. So this is going to be very interesting to see. I don't know what the mechanics may be. Maybe something to do with the Life Festering Sword, maybe something to do with the combo potential like Locust Guy with his aerial attacks. Now the special was brought up, not much information was given about it, but if I had to guess, maybe the special might be a revive. Now we know that in the manga, Kurourushi is able to use parthenogenesis, which for people who don't care about insects is when you are able to asexually repopulate, and due to him being a cursed spirit, he is allowed to revive within the new body that he creates. Now how will that work in the game? I have no idea. Maybe you can go somewhere, hold your R special, and you lay an egg, and then you go fight and you die and you'll respawn right at the egg. Maybe that would allude to the 4 new game mechanics, or maybe that's a horrible idea. I don't know. Maybe the R special could have something to do with the Life Festering Sword, and when you press R, it shoots the shotgun blast instead of slashing attacks. You know what I mean? Who knows? But there is a lot of room for play, and I'm very intrigued to see what it is. The next thing I want to talk about, which to me is the most exciting thing, is the Culling Games. Z has talked about the game, saying that he might add it as a game mode. Now that would break JJS. If the characters don't, that just got an Amber Alert. Then let me know that the JJS update is not coming out anytime soon. As I was saying, that would be insane. Now Z says that he doesn't want to do that on a small scale. If he were to make the game mode, he would need a lot of players to be in it, and he would have to make a new map. Now that wouldn't be too hard, but you know, Z likes to do original things. He doesn't like to copy people, and he wouldn't want to just steal somebody's custom map. He would actually want to make one himself. Therefore, meaning we get the Sendai Colony and Tokyo Colony number 1 and 2 and Sakurajima Colony and Lake Gosho and all those things, and that would be really fire, honestly. Now there's no confirmation that Z is actually working on the game mode, only that he has thought about it. For one thing that's leading me to believe that he is working on it is the fact that Kogani was added as an item, just like Ryu's hair. And now those always don't mean nothing, but usually they stay on theme to JJS. I think Z's brilliant mind would eat up a Culling Games concept, and it would really change JJS and allow for crazy videos. So I really hope that the Culling Games gets added. And right before we talk about the last early access character that I think is going to be added, let's talk about Naoya and Nanami. They've talked about balancing Naoya, and I believe that they should. Maybe I have a little bit of a grudge against them because every single Head of Hay user beats my ass in a ranked game. Yeah, do something, please. When they're good, they're good. And they said that they might add a buff to Nanami's air variant because it's super underused, and I believe that. I don't see anybody do that in their combos, and maybe they will if the damage gets increased or like you get an extender out of it, you know what I mean? And last but not least, I think that Mai is going to be added as a base only character to JJS. They've been talking about her a lot in the Discord, and somebody put up a concept for a Mai moveset and it was deleted shortly after. That's suspicious. I think Mai as a base only character would work really well with her construction curse technique. Obviously she is the worst user of the construction curse technique ever in history, and I'd rather have Yorizu as a real character, but I'll take her as a base only. It'll probably be gun based because her whole thing is a gun and she can make 1 bullet a day and rah 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 rah. But it's a cool idea, and why not? More base only characters is great. It adds to the diversity of JJS, and she'll probably be a free kill. It'll probably be one of those characters where if you're really good with her, you're really good, and most casual people are not gonna be, so they'll be really bad. I'll put all the concepts on the screen so you can see what it may be like. Do not take it as fact. This is just an idea and my theory. So to wrap things up, what can we expect in the next JJS update? I would say 2 new early access characters, being Kurourushi and Mai, a yuta rework, character balancing, beam clashing rework, and possibly a Culling Games game mode. This is super exciting. JJS updates have been on 10 lately, and I hope they keep going with this momentum. I'm not mad that they haven't dropped a big update in a month, because that's a very fair amount of time. We are not TSB. I'll take it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Out of those things, what are you most excited to see? And if I didn't mention anything that you think is going to be added, comment it down below and I'll let you know what I think. Luckily, you guys are not on the JJS team, because some of you have very bad ideas. Now, if you're still on the toilet doing a poo-poo or eating some food, sorry to put that in the same sentence, you should go watch this video where I react to the entire history of Jujutsu Shenanigans from 2024 all the way up to 2026, and that was a really good one. Millz Mafia out. Yeah.